Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Virginia International Raceway for the 34th race in the 2020 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series as we gear up for 25 laps of action in the first of 3 races here in the round of 8 VIR, the lone road course here in this round. It's also the final road course on the schedule as we'll head to Atlanta and then Pensacola, where we'll decide the final 4 that'll race for the championship at Texas. This is also the final standalone weekend on the season that does not have Jerky Pro Truck Series competition. This track is around the same length as Papyrus, but it takes a lot longer to get around, about another 30 seconds at that. It's a 25-lap event. We should see at least 2 pit stops. I think the pit window is around the same as Papyrus, lap 8 maybe the lap 10. So we'll see what kind of strategy we get out of the drivers here today. Just a reminder, eliminated after Papyrus was Ace Rogers, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Jonathan Zorlin, and Adam Flickinger, leaving us with 5 veterans and 3 rookies. Let's get to your starting lineup. Tyler Fink and Alex Gray, 2 of those remaining playoff drivers on the front row. Seth Cole in third, who won at Papyrus, with Wes McCoy in fourth. Matthew Logan and Cement Oskin, 2 more playoff drivers in row 3. Johnny Gardner and LJ Toledo, row 4, with Cole Deaver and Ryan Brommer in row 5. So both of the road course aces, 3 wins in Brommer's career on roadies, 5 wins in Seth Cole's career on roadies, both starting in the top 10. Meanwhile, closer to the rear, we have Alexander Rowe, Priya McShane, and Quentin Moore. This track is definitely going to be track position oriented, so bad qualifying runs for Rowe, McShane, and Moore compared to the other 5 who are all starting inside the top 6. It's unknown what kind of racing exactly we'll have here. We know that the S's in the first half of the track are sure to be crazy. Let's update you on the race for 5th in points. Right now, it's the race for 9th in points. Andrew Rich holds a 6-point advantage over Jonathan Zorlin and a 27-point advantage over Fitzwater and Ace Rogers, who are tied for 11th. Let's go trackside for the command to fire engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
And more stuff to look at really quickly here is Cement Oskin could be breaking Andrew Rich's top 10 record set back in 2018. Oskin comes into this race with a win, 8 top 5s, and 15 top 10s on the season. He's got the most top 10s over Priya McShane, who's got 12. So Oskin on track. He's got 4 more races left. He's only got to get 3 more top 10s to break Andrew Rich's record of 17. Meanwhile, the top 5 record will not be broken this year. Andrew Rich had 12 top 5s in 2018, but Oskin could still tie it. He's got 8 right now, but he's got to finish top 5 in every race, as we're seeing a little bit of checkups here going around the pace lap. Pace speed is at 55 miles an hour, a little bit fast for this track. But we're coming around to the main straightaway, and we're getting ready for 25 laps of action. In testing, strategy was huge at this racetrack, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of racing we get. Remember, no caution flags. It's the final road course on the season, the final race with no yellows, and we are green at Virginia International Raceway. As we're already going 3 wide there, that was Wes McCoy out wide. As Tyler Fink holds the top spot for now. Here comes Gray and Seth Cole. They're side by side for second. As here we go up the S's. This will be a tricky part of the racetrack right here. As Johnny Gardner's off track, he's around. Johnny Gardner is around. And there's tons of trouble. Nate Rogers is involved, Cole Deaver, Jose Mills. And there's the track position thing. Alexander Rowe and the other two had to slam the brakes, and now they are 4 wide. This is going to get crazy. Quentin Moore's almost in the grass. Alexander Rowe will settle it out 2 wide there right now with Sekuli. But they're still racing like madmen. Priya McShane got stuck back here in this mess. So Rowe, McShane, and Moore all had to stop for that incident. And that is going to hurt their day tremendously. Andrew Rich, Quentin Moore, and Tyler Markle, as Deaver is on pit road. But right now, Tyler Fink leads with Seth Cole in second, Alex Gray third, Matthew Logan fourth, and Oskin is in sixth. So 5 drivers are all up here single file in the top 6, and you can see the split from 6th place to 7th. LJ Toledo in 7th, Brommer 8th, Tringali 9th, and Corey Williams, the top 10. Wes McCoy in 5th place, but going up through those S's, that's going to be a tricky point of the track all day. But right now, Tyler Fink looking to start off the round of 8 with a win. As there you see the marks going side by side through here is dangerous. Ooh, you can see even Wes McCoy struggling here. That could create some passes as Oskin's looking to close in on that position. There's Johnny Gardner. He kept it going. It looked like Cole Deaver got most of the hit. So we're seeing if there's any more side by side. There is right here with Onjak and Zach Rogers. But they'll keep it together. Shelton's actually making a move on Austin Colano. So Quentin Moore, Priya McShane, and Alexander Rowe all with issues. But the field is strung out single file now, and now we'll start seeing who can make moves. Tough break for Cole Deaver. We'll take a look at that accident after the race is complete. But Alexander Rowe filed down in 22nd, about where he started. So he didn't lose a ton of time, but McShane 31st, Moore 39th. And the pack will have to work their way back towards the front. As you can see, the big gap from Kev Shear to Carter Friesen. Remember, 25 and the 95, as there's Logan York in the back. Those cars are not returning for 2021. Junior Motorsports will be either the 24 and the 48, the 24 and the 88, or the 48 and the 88. So let's take a look at those point standings. Tyler Markle has the 88, 21st in the points, 795 points at that, while Ferranti is 33rd with 696 points. Kev Shearer 39th with 620 points. So right now looking like it'll be the 48 and the 88 for Junior Motorsports next season. But if Ferranti struggles and Shearer starts to get some success in these last 4 races, that could change. But Tyler Markle, I think, has the 88 locked up for Junior Motorsports with where he's at in the point standings. So Gardner spun around, but he is still running in 12th. Keith Rich is the first guy outside the top 10 behind Corey Williams. Tringali in 9th, Brommer 8th, LJ Toledo 7th with a gap back to Oskin in 6th. As not much going on here at Virginia International Raceway. Let's see if we can find a battle. And here's one. Rob Evans passing Dylan Young. That's for 29th place. So he'll take that position. Meanwhile, Fitzwater is trying to hold off Peter Onjak for 32nd. So you want to know how fast these cars go into turn one? Well, let's find out. Casey Nanico's heading down the pit road. It's about 170 miles an hour. But I'm just noticing now Jose Mills, James Shelley, William Flickinger, and Casey Nanico are all down on pit road. And this could likely be strategy, or they had damage to repair. And I feel like it's damage to repair. Nate Rogers is actually without a hood now, so there might have been another incident that we didn't notice. Zach Rogers is way back, and so is Andrew Rich, so I believe there was another incident. As Tyler Fink has messed up somewhere, Seth Cole will go to the race lead. So perhaps going through the S's trouble for the 34 of Tyler Fink, and that's going to cost him the lead and potentially more, as Alex Gray will pass him for second. And seeing as how hard it is to gain positions here at VIR, that could be costly for Tyler Fink. It's going to be a loss of 9 points and a win that would put him into the final four. And man, Seth Cole to the race lead. Could Seth Cole go back to back? Come to think of it, in 2020, we have not had a single driver win back-to-back races. And Seth Cole would be looking to extend his reign as the road course king. Got 5th win on the road courses last week at Papyrus. Could he get win number 6 here today? And this track, very technical. You really got to hit your marks, as someone else was out of whack, and I believe that was Wes McCoy, because now Samet Oskin is all over his back bumper. And don't look now, but here comes LJ Toledo and the other road course ringer, Ryan Brommer. All 3 of Ryan Brommer's wins in his career have come on road courses. But VIR, this track I think is definitely a big experiment. The 2021 schedule has already been set. This track's not coming back. So if they give a good race, we could see it come back in 2022. But that'll remain to be seen. So far, we've seen some passing, but it has not been easy. So Seth Cole leads here on lap 5. We're going to take our first break, and we'll be back with more racing action from the state of Virginia. We're back here at Virginia International Raceway, looking at the fast times on the day. The fast lap so far goes to LJ Toledo with a 1:47.287. Speaking of fast laps, fastest in practice was Nico Tringali. Fastest in happy 20 minutes was Jeff Toledo. Tringali currently running in 9th. The 19 of Jeff Toledo in 23rd. And you want to know what the fall off's like? Well, it's already almost 3 seconds. 7 laps into this run. And considering how long they've gone, I'm going to guess that short pitting, the undercut that is, will be the move to make. But you've also got to make it through the S's. I've been seeing while we were away that drivers are gaining or losing time based on how they take these S's. Ryan Brommer was right on the bumper of LJ Toledo, and then one bad lap through these S's, and he lost a good 2.5 seconds. So that is where cars are gaining and losing time, and I think that's what happened to Tyler Fink. But Fink is also showing us now that He has not handled his tires well. You see he's already running 150.1s. Meanwhile, Seth Cole, a 149.8. Alex Gray trying to close it in, a 149.5. Now, Alex Gray has won on road courses before. He's done it once. But I'm trying to remember where. And now that I think about it, it was at Pukekohe this year. Meanwhile, Seth Cole has done it 5 times. All on different road courses, I believe. Let's see. He winning at Papyrus last week. He won at Cape Cod last season. I believe Seth Cole also won a race at Milano. Another hybrid road course at that. That track's going to be on the schedule next year. So that's 3 of his 5. And I can't put my finger on what the other 2 were. But he's looking for what would be number 6. He extended his gap back on Alex Gray to a second that lap by. But right now for the playoffs, this is looking very interesting because of the playoff points. Seth Cole is the points leader coming into today. But of course, if he wins, he doesn't have to worry about points. Meanwhile, Oskin, Gray, Fink, and Logan all came in with 10 playoff points because Oskin was your regular season champion. So those 4 right now, it's Gray in 2nd, Fink in 3rd, Logan in 4th, and Oskin in 5th. And I mean, Oskin in 6th. Wes McCoy is in 5th. But with how they're running, so far, it's looking like it's going to be 4 of these 5 if things go their way at Atlanta and Pensacola. Alexander Rowe, however, was on a bit of a charge. He's only in 21st now. Priya McShane's made it up to 28th and Quentin Moore 33rd. As, of course, drivers with issues that we've seen pitting for damage. William Flickinger, Casey Nanico, Jose Mills, Nate Rogers, James Shelley, Zach Rogers, Andrew Rich, and, of course, Cole Deaver, who's out of the race. But Brommer's charging right back on LJ Toledo. These 2 have the top times on the board. But can they strategize their way up the running order? As I'm seeing our first car to pit, it's Keith Rich. Actually, no, Seth Cole came down. So on lap 10, Seth Cole is the first to pit road. Keith Rich follows behind him, and this is the undercut strategy approach. Remember, fall off is about 4 seconds. So I'm trying to get on the pace car to see who else is pit. So Seth Cole's going to come out of pit road right at the back of the pack. That's how spread out the field is. Look at this. He's going to come out right behind Tyler Markle. So now he's got to be careful here because if he messes up in this pack of traffic, he's going to lose a lot of his undercut. Keith Rich, Carter Friesen, this is going to work out way better for them. As Sekuli Alexander Rowe is going to undercut. This is going to work out wonders, I think, for the 99 team. They're going to have to come out behind some damaged cars. But let's go to Seth Cole. You see, his tires are cold right now, so he's not gaining a ton of time on those in front of him. Oh, no, it's there. You can see the grip now. The grip is there for Seth Cole. He's just got to be really careful with how he gets through these guys. So Alex Gray gets a lap let out of this. So Fink, Seth Cole, and Alex Gray have all led laps today. Again, back to the point of Fink, Gray, Logan, and Oskin. All those 4 come in tied into this race, which is the first race of the round. But for Gray and Fink to have led laps over Oskin and Logan will be a huge advantage for them, as it looks like pretty much everybody's going to come to pit road here on lap 10 into 11. So we'll keep an eye right here. If anyone stays out. It's not looking like anyone is. It's pretty much everybody on pit road. And there's Seth Cole. And he'll get by Alex Gray with ease. Gray comes out second, Logan third, Fink fourth, and Oskin still in sixth, but LJ Toledo's making a move on him. And there's Keith Rich. His undercut gave him several positions. And LJ Toledo will pass Samet Oskin out of pit road. How about Alexander Rowe? How much did the 99 team gain? Not as much as I thought. It looks like he got held up from James Shelley and just couldn't find a good place to get around the 71. Luckily for him, he's got a lap where these tires have to heat up. It looks like Corey Williams got damage entering pit road. That's going to hurt him. As we're looking for any signs of side-by-side. Jeff Toledo's got side damage. So we'll likely see Williams back onto pit road to fix his damage. Meanwhile, Quinton Moore is way behind the pace. Not a good race for him. As it looks like Fitzwater could have been involved in the mess with Corey Williams. So a tough break for the 59 car. But Seth Cole leads him again. Alex Gray second. Logan third. Fink fourth. McCoy fifth. Keith Rich sixth. As Oskin has lost several positions now. As Oskin is under fire from Nico Tringali. But Seth Cole still leads it here at Virginia International Raceway. His lead was a second before pit stops. Now it is 5.7 seconds. We'll see if the undercut works for Seth Cole. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back with more racing here from Virginia. We're back from Virginia International Raceway, and Samet Oskin has fallen to 11th place outside the top 10, directly behind Nico Tringali. Carter Friesen has made his way up to 8th, so some of his road course success from the Jerky Pro Truck Series paying off for the rookie driver of the 25, rookie in both Cup and Jerky Pro, but has had a lot more success in the Jerky Pro Truck Series, much opposite to Jeff Toledo. Jeff Toledo has won 3 times in Cup, but has not had any success really in the Truck Series, as Friesen is under fire from Ryan Brommer. I believe Friesen pit on the same lap as Seth Cole and Keith Rich, as Keith Rich currently holds on to 5th place. Last time at the start-finish line, Seth Cole's gap increasing to almost 6 seconds. But Keith Rich in his Brembo Brakes Subaru. Some interesting silly season news about Bulldog Motorsports. The team's numbers are mostly staying the same. Andrew Rich in the 23 and Keith Rich back in the 53. However, Ace Rogers will switch from 64 to 63. And the car that Zach Rogers currently drives, the 97, the person driving that car, which has still not been announced, will be the 93. And the energy drink war is in full session. Bang Energy to Front Row Motorsports. Red Bull coming back in 2021. Monster Energy has not yet picked a car, I believe. But Raze Energy will be sponsoring Bulldog Motorsports. They're going to mostly focus on Andrew Rich. But Keith Rich, Ace Rogers, and the 93 will all be sporting Raze Energy schemes as well, on top of their other sponsorship. For example, Keith Rich will still have Brembo brakes on board. Ace and Digital Storm will continue their partnership. And Malwarebytes is set to sponsor the 93 for a majority of the season. So again, it's unknown where Monster Energy will land, as Fitzwater is finally getting service. But if memory serves, there is nobody with Monster sponsorship just yet. Mountain Dew, of course, will be back with Hendrick. And there are rumors that Coca-Cola will sponsor the 11. So the Drink Wars is going to be in full session next year. Oskin still holding on to 11th. Brommer trying to find a way by Friesen. There's nothing really going. And the gap has started to shrink. Alex Gray's got it down to 4.7 seconds as tire wear starts to kick in. Now, the big thing for Alex Gray here, though, is he's going to want to catch Seth Cole, pass Seth Cole, and then considering there's only half a run left, take less fuel and maybe not even take tires, because it's going to be probably 3 to 5 laps to go when these drivers make their final pit stops, and they're likely going to take fuel only. Fastest lap on the board goes to Andrew Rich, a 1:47.132. It's too bad he's down in 39th with a ton of damage. Well, actually, I guess he doesn't have a ton of damage because he wouldn't have run a 1:47.1 if he was. So I believe Fitzwater is coming back on the track. And that is indeed the case. There he is. They have fixed his damage. So far to my knowledge, we have 3 incidents to look at after the race. But this time at the start-finish line will be 10 to go. And we're in the window now. The big question is, does anybody pull a strategy similar to Papyrus, where they pit right when they're in the window to take full advantage of the undercut, as Alex Gray chops off another 4/10. And with Seth Cole showing tire age, Keith Rich and I believe Carter Friesen are starting to show it too. But man, Oskin lost so much time right out of pit road. He fell from being in 6th place behind Wes McCoy down to 11th. And now Wes McCoy is going to try and find the way by Keith Rich. McCoy had a great race at Papyrus, too. Could McCoy get a top 5? Evernham Petty is rumored to be coming back as a 2-car team. And they are also being rumored to be switching to Dodge. So we could see a lot more Dodges on the racetrack in 2021. And Joe Gibbs Racing, who's been at a 3-car capacity, was, I think, hoping to expand to 4 cars, but with where their drivers are in the points, it's very unlikely. Jose Mills, 25th, Sekuli, 32nd, and Nanico, 37th. It's just unlikely for Joe Gibbs Racing to expand. They might even have to downsize to a 2-car team. Thankfully for Toyota, Red Bull Racing will be switching to them, as there's not a lot of Toyota teams really lined up for next year either. And Toyota has always struggled in this series. They have not won a lot of races, as Seth Cole, Keith Rich, Wes McCoy, Carter Friesen, like I expected, are going to pit early. They're pitting at 9 to go, 1 lap into the window. And this could be a race-winning call for the 72 team. Four tires up and down for Seth Cole. And he's actually going to come out in the middle of the pack. This could hurt him. Keith Rich, Carter Friesen, the next 2 to go out. Wes McCoy, is going to tap Keith Rich. But so those 3 We'll have some sort of free real estate. Joshua Sekuli is going to undercut. An interesting call for the 11. Ferranti, Alexander Rowe once again, and Jessica Shelton. As that'll give the lead back to Alex Gray. Matthew Logan second, Fink third, LJ Toledo fourth, Brahmer fifth, Tringali, Oskin, Shearer, Gardner, Adam Flickinger, the top 10. Flickinger and Ace Rogers, two drivers who were eliminated last week at Papyrus. Jonathan Zorlin in 16th at the line. And then Fitzwater, of course, with the issues today. As Alex Gray is going to stay out. And this is where you got to wonder, can I take fuel only at 5 to go and still have a gap? As no one is showing a sign of pitting at all from the front runners. We'll hit Control N here and see if anyone is going to pit at 8 to go rather. There is Seth Cole in front of Charles Sanford with 4 fresh tires. And at the start-finish line, that puts Seth Cole 17th, 33 seconds back. There's McCoy and Friesen. As Keith Rich is 24th. McCoy 26th, Friesen 27th. Casey Nanico we saw dive it into pit road for his final stop of the day. As we watch everybody come around. There's Andrew Rich. He's been flying some laps down. He actually cut the gap on Gray by 0.8. Wow, that's interesting. So put the 23 up to 36th. As the field is so spread out now, we might see some of the damage cars start to make gains. So Nanico's out and done. Final stop on the day for him. As Alex Gray will stay out for now. No more commercial breaks, guys. We're here for the rest of the race. And Alex Gray will stay out again. We'll hit the Control N key once more. As so far, the top 5 and so forth will stay out. So it looks like versus Papyrus, these guys are committed to trying to do it a full run, 2 full runs, and then probably fuel only at the end of this thing. And they're going to hope that lap traffic hurts Seth Cole. Or just traffic in general, because there you see Seth making the move on Evans. And how much time did the 72 gain that lap? He gained, I think, 2 seconds. So not a lot. There's Friesen, there's McCoy, Keith Rich also trying to run through the field. Let's check just to be sure. A 148.722 to Gray's 52.6. And you can see Seth Cole struggling on the S's, even with 4 fresh tires. Will this strategy work out for Seth Cole? That's the big question right now. If he wins this race, he's in the Final 4. The same thing goes for Gray, Logan, and Fink, who are top 3 on the racetrack. And Alex Gray's down pit road. Logan, Fink, in right behind them. As it looks like everyone will come to pit road here, coming to 6 to go. Now the question is, what is the strategy call by Alex Gray? Left sides are up. Do you take 2 tires here? And it's no, it's a 4-tire call by Gray, by Logan, and by Tyler Fink. And there goes Seth Cole. Gray will come out still in second, but Keith Rich, I think, will get third on Logan here because his tires have warmed up. Well, that'll put him in fourth for now. Friesen up to 6th. McCoy 7th. As Sekuli is looking towards a top 10. Maybe, I think that would be a 12th place on Kev Shearer. As Alexander Rowe will gain some time here as well. So now the question remains, who can gain what at the end of this race? As Keith Rich is looking for a way by Matthew Logan for third. Excuse me. As a top three run for Keith Rich would be huge for his season. He comes into this race 24th in the points, 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s. By the way, looking at the polls, Tyler Fink got his first pole of the season, but I actually forgot to mention last week that with his pole, Matthew Logan captured pole number 4 on the year, which is a record-tying mark. Seth Cole got 4 poles, I believe, in 2018. Matthew Logan has been a bit of a qualifying king. His average starting position, though, is not the best. The best goes to Seth Cole with a 14.97 on the season. And the worst starting position average out of the remaining 8 drivers belongs to Priya McShane with a 21... Oh, no, rather, Semet Oskin actually has the worst starting position average out of the remaining 8, a 22.24, yet his average finishing position, a 15.61. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you finish. And Oskin right now is 1 position shy of what would be his 16th top 10 on the season. The gap from Seth Cole to Alex Gray is almost 9 seconds. And Seth Cole must have been saving his stuff in the pack because he just ran a 147.6 that last lap. And he's been on these tires for almost 4 laps now. Let's see what the top speed difference is here. Seth Cole will hit 173. What about Alex Gray? Oh, not quite. Can Alex Gray do anything to close in the gap on Seth Cole? Or did Seth Cole strategy his way to this win? It'll be 4 laps to go at the start-finish line. Let's see if the margin changes. And it does. Down 3.5 tenths. Advantage Alex Gray. Battle is on for third, though. Tyler Fink right up to the bumper of Matthew Logan, who's all over Keith Rich. And when you talk about making the Final Four, these extra points could be huge for these two. Front Row Motorsports duo rookies who've won 4 races together this season. But if you get to third, that's 4 more points. If you get to fourth, that's 3 more points. And those points could be huge depending how Atlanta and Pensacola go for these two. Because right now, they're not in position to win. So their crew chief is yelling at them, I think, get that position. They've got about a 2 to 3 lap tire advantage. It's, I think, just going to be a matter of time and effort. Carter Friesen's closing up in 6th. As there's a battle behind them for 7th. That's LJ Toledo looking for that position on Wes McCoy, who's short pit. Meanwhile, Ryan Brommer is trying to take back 9th place from Tringali. And Oskin sits in 11th. Shearer 12th, Sekuli 13th, Adam Flickinger, Johnny Gardner, your top 15, Ace Rogers, Kukulon, Ferranti, and a 3-wide battle here with Alexander Rowe, Zorlin, and Logan York. That's for 19th. And Priya McShane has made it up to 22nd. The struggles continue for Quinton Moore, though, who is 34th. As at 3 to go, Alex Gray chopped off Seth Cole's lead by a whole second. Tringali's all over the bumper of Wes McCoy now for 8th. The battle continues to rage, though, for 3rd. Can Keith Rich hold these guys off? I mean, there's really no advantage to doing it. You're not helping a teammate win this race. Ooh, Fink got a bad entry into the S's right there. That's going to hurt him. It's going to separate some distance from him and Logan. And for Fink, from him to Keith Rich. This race has been pretty interesting, though, I've got to say. It definitely hasn't been the most exciting of races, but with the tire wear and the strategy, it's been interesting to say the least. Next time at the line will be 2 to go. This is the main battle to watch right now, as Seth Cole is still way ahead of Alex Gray. And the only thing that could change the outcome of this race is if Seth Cole is somehow short on gas, which I highly doubt. But there you see the lap time difference there, a 48.9 to a 47.7. 2 laps to go. I mean, at this point, I think this is confirmation that you are committed to running the distance. What is the margin this lap? 6 seconds. So Gray definitely with the tire advantage, but I just don't think he has the time. And with that much of a tire advantage here, Matthew Logan and Fink got to be beating themselves, because now LJ Toledo has caught Carter Friesen for 6th, and they still haven't gotten by Keith Rich. And Oskin could be looking at a top 10 if Tringali, Brommer, and himself pass Wes McCoy. And Oskin's looking for position now. He wants to get by Brommer for 10th, but he can't get it to grip. Will that give him a better entry into the S's, though? I think it did. Or maybe not. Kev Shearer is about to challenge for 11th. Ooh, and Shearer's really throwing the car up this hill. And there it is, Matthew Logan. This could be a huge 4 extra points for him if it comes down to a point scenario. Remember, Alexander Rowe, Priya McShane, Quinton Moore, they all had bad starting positions. They got held up by that wreck on the first lap. Rowe's 21st, McShane's 22nd. Quinton Moore is the only one who's been unable to really recover in 32nd. Fastest lap on the day will go to Andrew Rich. But we're coming to the white flag, and Gray's knocked down a 2.5 seconds. Oh, man. I think it's just too little too late, though, for Alex Gray to catch Seth Cole. But he has really closed in the gap here in these last few laps. Logan's made it to 3rd. Now his teammate Tyler Fink has got to find the way by Keith Rich for 4th. He's going to peek to the right side through that corner. That's not going to work. That's going to give him a bit of a gap, though. And what about the top 10 run for Samet Oskin? Is there any way for these three to get by Wes McCoy? Toledo's all over the bumper of Friesen. That's for 6th. He's almost pushing Friesen up this hill. He's peeking the nose. Fink lost time to Keith Rich again going through the S's. And LJ looks to the right of Friesen. This is for position. And LJ Toledo will move up to 6th place. So an extra point to Toledo. His season's been pretty abysmal. He's last in the points. A total of 80 points behind Rob Evans for 41st. So a good top 10 run for LJ here. Definitely what he needs. But all eyes are on Seth Cole. Fink with any last second chance here to get by Keith Rich, maybe. But through the last few corners, he won at Papyrus. Got career win number 9, 5th at a road course today. 6th win at a road course, joining Andrew Rich as a double-digit winner. Seth Cole gets career win number 10, his 4th of the season. Back-to-back road course wins, and you can put Seth Cole as probably the favorite right now to win the championship at Texas. Alex Gray will come home in 2nd. Matthew Logan 3rd. Keith Rich holds on to 4th. And Tyler Fink's going to be beating himself because of that tire advantage he had. Will those 3 points come back to haunt him? LJ Toledo 6th, Friesen 7th, Tringali 8th, Brommer 9th, Wes McCoy going to hold on to the top 10 there, so Oskin will get 11th. As I just noticed, there's about a 13-second gap from 17th to 18th. As we wait for the rest of the results to become official, it looks like Priya McShane, 21st. Alexander Rowe, 23rd. And I believe Quentin Moore, 31st. And there it is. The race is official. Seth Cole is your winner. Well, what an interesting strategy race it was. I mean, if there were 2 more laps, Alex Gray, I think, would have had him. But I think at the same time, the strategy would have been different. But that'll do it here for the main race coverage. Now, let's take a look at the incidents here today. I believe there were 3 of them. So let's take a look at that stuff. All right, here we are on lap 1. Looking to see what happened with Gardner and Koldiva. They were racing in the top 10. Gardner just, I think, Gardner got pushed there by Koldiva. That sent him into the grass. And then Gardner just came back on the track and clips Koldiva. That spins Gardner around. And Deaver got sent right to the wall. Oh, and that killed Koldiva's car. Brommer actually slices him, and then Nate Rogers has nowhere to go. Oh, man. Jose Mills gets a piece of this. And then you see Williams, Keith Rich, and Gardner all slide by. Same with Kev Shearer. Now, this is what decided who made it out of here pretty quickly. Carter Friesen, Ace Rogers, Adam Flickinger. As William Flickinger got spun around getting into Logan York. And then everyone else just stopped. Oh, something happened, I think, with Casey Nanico back here. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, man, this was a 4 wide gone wrong between William Flickinger, Andrew Rich, Zach Rogers, and Casey Nanico. And Nanico took them all out trying to get back on the track. William Flickinger went sliding through the grass past a bunch of stopped cars. And you see he just got the back of Logan York. And then once Cole Deaver's car towed, everyone went on their merry little way. But that was the first wreck of the day. Let's see if we can find the second one. All right, here's the second incident. This was actually on lap 1-2, and I guess since we were watching Alexander Rowe clear out too wide, we missed this. Andrew Rich and Zach Rogers get together. That sends Rich into Tyler Markle. Quentin Moore got a piece of this, and they ended up saving it, but that's where those skid marks came from. So Rich, Moore, and Markle all went through the grass here, and they just lost a ton of track time to the rest of the field. And yeah, that's all that one wrote. So now let's see if we can figure out what happened to Fitzwater. All right, so this happened to Fitzwater on pit road. The first pit stop round. He's done with his service. He's going to leave. And William Flickinger's stall is right in front of his, and the two make contact, and then Fitzwater gets into the back of his teammate, Quentin Moore. That's where Quentin Moore's damage came from. And then Fitzwater just got stuck and ended up calling a tow. So that is it for VIR. Seth Cole, again, your winner. He's locked into the Final Four. 3 spots remain open going to Atlanta next week. Cherokee Pro Truck Series is back. They'll be on their second race of the round of 8-2. As, William Flickinger got service all the way out here in the middle of the stall at a crooked angle. I just noticed this. He's literally way out to the left of his stall, and he's getting service like this. That is very interesting. And then he got, that was really weird. Yeah, here's your point standings. I'm out of here. This place is starting to turn into Moose Steck, and I'm not liking that vibe.